Welcome back. This week, Alexandria honored a World War II veteran as Grand Marshal of its Memorial Day Parade. Jim Claremont was featured in the Land of 10,000 Stories in 2019 as he prepared for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. This was a big weekend for Jim for reasons beyond the parade. More on that after Boyd reintroduces us to a World War II hero.
At 94 years, Jim Claremont still has the
Absolutely.
discipline.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Hasn't lost the resolve that served him well in the Navy.
I'm just standing at attention for a minute.
Good for his hour of daily exercises. And those times in his favorite place when he thinks about the things old men do.
When I was young,
Jim had just turned 18 when he found himself in the midst of the greatest military invasion in history.
And I watched Saving Private Ryan with him, and the beach scene, I saw him wipe a tear, and he said it was just like that. It's the first emotion I had ever seen
Nancy and Debbie
from him from that.
That's true.
are Jim's daughters.
We keep telling me, Dad, you were there, you were part of history.
Their dad was 16 and living in South Minneapolis when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor.
we didn't even know where Pearl Harbor was.
At 17, with his mother's signature, Jim enlisted,
We definitely wanted to get after those Japanese and get after those Germans.
which is how Jim Claremont ended up on the Herndon, the lead Navy destroyer, sailing toward Normandy.
Our captain volunteered us. We found out at a reunion years later that he felt he had a good ship and a good crew, and he volunteered us to lead the invasion. They were giving us 10-to-1 odds we'd never come back. We got within 3,000 yards. We had 4 5-inch guns, and we fired all 4 of them at once.
The Herndon's initial objective? Destroying the German pillboxes that threatened the Allied forces approaching the beach.
The whole sky was lit up with tracers and bombs and shells going off. The guns would get so hot all the paint would boil off of them.
For 2 days, they remained at their battle stations. No breaks, no sleep.
The cooks would bring us sandwiches, and then they'd get buckets to relieve ourselves, and that was it. You see a lot of people getting killed. Out of our squadron of 6 destroyers, 3 of us returned and 3 didn't. Either hit by the gunfire or hit by mines. You just don't know that.
Outgunned, the Germans retreated inland, the beginning of the end of Adolf Hitler's twisted ambitions.
Weeks later, it bothered me more than when I was there. I was even home on leave afterwards, and I woke up in the middle of the night hollering. I scared the heck out of my parents. That's Duffy, and that's me.
These days,
There's Strauss,
Jim's mind
Rogers,
drifts elsewhere.
Diamond.
300 men served on his ship, and the last time Jim heard, he was one of just 9 still living.
He's the only one that's going to Normandy out of those 9. Nobody else is healthy enough to go.
And Normandy nearly didn't get Jim back either, not due to health, but humility.
I just don't feel that anything I did was worth noting.
Others beg to differ.
Hi.
He's just an honored man, and we're here to honor him.
Look at all these people.
On his way to the airport,
For cripe's sake.
a stop at the Bloomington VFW.
That's unbelievable.
Family and friends
Thank you, Ruth.
more than happy to take issue with Jim's understated
Oh, Jim,
self-assessment.
Thank you, Mary.
you bet you're special.
We appreciate everything you've done for us, Grandpa.
Thank you, guys. To have all you nice, wonderful friends and relatives just can't be, just hard to say, but thanks again and thank you.
In 1944, Jim Claremont sailed toward Normandy as a teen.
You saved the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
75 years later, he goes back.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you.
The man. Boyd Huppert, KARE 11 News, Bloomington.
6 years after Jim's trip to Normandy, he still starts each day with exercises, which continues to serve him well. Let's take a look at Jim on Monday. Look at that, riding in a Jeep as Grand Marshal of the Alexandria Memorial Day Parade. A fitting honor because Jim is also marking his 100th birthday. On Saturday, friends and relatives gathered to celebrate with Jim. Governor Walz proclaimed it Jim Claremont Day in Minnesota. This Memorial Day, it's also worth noting, D-Day survivor, this D-Day survivor is now the only survivor of his ship still living. A 16-year-old boy from central Iowa has created an app he hopes will help people feel more comfortable in the kitchen. The Pesto app is live and can answer questions about cooking, baking, or anything kitchen related. Nicole Tam spoke with the app's creator about his work.
Nash Roll is taking lessons he learned from being on Food Network's Kids Baking Championship to the kitchen at home.
Kids do not know, how to wash a dish, how to make a basic, or how to read a recipe, how to add up measurements and stuff like that. And I knew that that's a big problem now, especially, and I knew there was a way we can fix that.
The solution he came up with is a resource that answers kitchen or cooking questions, Pesto.
We like to call him your super smart, judgment-free cooking buddy.
Pesto is powered by artificial intelligence. Creating Pesto was the challenge itself.
The learning curve was really fighting against what code can do and what software can do versus what I want it to do.
After months of learning and hard work, the Can Cook app is live, answering questions about cooking, baking, or anything kitchen related. And unlike other AI apps, this one is trained to only answer kitchen-related questions.
If I can provide a free app that has information I've had to hand type or hand upload, you can only ask it about certain questions that have been input. So if you asked it about cars or trucks, it wouldn't answer.
Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.